touch the mic, sorry.
Okay,
Don't-
all right.
don't- No,
Got
don't
it.
touch the mics.
Okay.
Do not touch the mics.
Thank you. It's an honor to speak to you, a group dedicated to the advancement and equality of women. My name is Sheila Lichtblau. I'm running for the seat to be vacated by the Honorable Judge Diopel, a champion of equal rights. I'm proud to have her endorsement for the seat, along with every other endorsing judge on the Marin Superior Court and all 5 county supervisors. Equality in service is something that I grew up with. It was imbued in me as a child of immigrant parents. My father grew up in India during the independence movement, and there he listened to the speeches of Mahatma Gandhi, who spoke about equality and about commitment to service in the community. To listen to people bringing their cases, weighing evidence, understanding and listening to testimony, and making those hard decisions. I feel that these qualify me for the position. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Mike Coffino, and I grew up in Mill Valley in the 1970s and 80s, and I currently serve as a deputy public defender for the county of Marin. The way I got to that position is that in 2001, I was working for a corporate law firm in Oakland representing big software companies and commercial disputes. And I left that corporate job to go to one of the poorest counties in California, Lake County, to work there as a public defender. And in doing that career shift, I really found my calling as a lawyer. And for the past 15 years, I have chosen to apply my learning, my skill, and my hard work to helping the people who are the most disadvantaged in our legal system. One of the reasons that I kind of decided to make that change in my career after working for 5 years as a civil lawyer has to do with a volunteer case that I took representing a guy from Chile who was facing political persecution in his home country. And I helped that gentleman, after a year of gathering evidence, obtain political asylum in the United States. And that really led me to think that it would be nice to apply my legal skills to helping actual people who were facing peril. So that's kind of what I've devoted myself to doing in my legal career. And as a public defender, I represent all kinds of people, military veterans, people with mental illnesses, immigrants, and just ordinary folks who are down on their luck and charged with a crime, including women and issues relating to women that are specific to them as women. I've represented veterans who had been sexually assaulted in the military and who ended up in jail, charged with a crime, and I've tried to get them veterans diversion, which is something that our legislature came up with to help veterans who had suffered trauma in the military. I've represented women who are in jail and who are pregnant, and I've had to sensitively address their health status with the judge and trying to get them out of custody so they could get appropriate medical care. So thanks for your support. Speak languages that are so obscure because they come from tiny villages in South America that we can't even find an interpreter to help these people. And I get to know their families, I get to know them and their culture, as well as I can. And I think that that's a perspective that I would bring to the bench that's a very valuable one, and that's completely absent from our bench as it's currently constituted, in that we don't have any judges who have spent their careers and devoted their careers, as I have, to representing indigent people, to standing next to somebody who is facing the possibility of going to jail or prison. And we're the only county in the Bay Area that lacks a judge with that experience. So what I would hope to bring to the bench is the perspective of having represented folks who are traditionally disadvantaged in our society and don't have the same standing in front of the court as a rich and powerful person might.
Wrap it up quickly.
Oh, well, I don't know if she's displaying the sign.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have about a minute, so if you could kind of keep your answers brief, and that way we can get more questions.
This is due in part to the failure of judges to really actively enough get involved in helping to resolve cases. When I first got to Marin after having worked in Lake County, I was really astounded by the wasteful number of appearances that were required in the misdemeanor court in order to resolve somebody's fairly minor case. And people were inconvenienced by having to come back to court even a dozen times when they were ready to resolve their case right at the start. And that had a lot to do with the DA's office and the public defender not having good communication. But judges, I think, have an important role to play in promoting consistency by letting the parties know where the case is going to get resolved, or what the outcome is going to be if they choose to litigate it. which gives people some kind of advanced knowledge of what they can expect to happen and a reason to resolve their case before they go to trial and use court resources. By kind of a unique and maybe conflicted position. On the one hand, what they do is a function of the judicial branch of government, which should be open, and courtrooms are open. At the same time, what judges actually do is fairly obscure to a lot of people. It's mysterious, and some of it does take place in the hidden recesses of their chambers. But a judge should never be meeting with
The judge is to give notice to the other side of having a meeting with the opposing party.
You know, during the campaign, I've met people that say to me, "You seem great, but I don't care, I'm voting for a woman." And I respect that position, I understand that position, and frankly, it's true. We do need more women on the bench. I also think, though, that it's important to consider, in addition to that, the qualifications that the candidate brings in terms of his or her actual experience representing actual people in front of a judge or a jury. And secondly, what our bench is completely lacking in this county, which is any lawyer who ever devoted his or her career to what I've chosen to do, which is defend people's constitutional rights, ensure that only guilty people are convicted of crimes, and make sure that the underrepresented and disadvantaged in our society are given a voice in the courtroom, and that that perspective has a place as well on our bench, along with the perspectives of the other judges and their backgrounds. So I'd ask people to look beyond, you know, the immediate, you know, thank you.
In the last 10 years, as I mentioned before, I am endorsed by every endorsing judge in the Marin County Superior Court, including the retired Judge Faye Diopel, along with all 5 county supervisors and the Democratic Party. I have 23 years of practice representing just about everyone, from the poor and disabled to small and large businesses to governmental entities. In my current work now, I serve as a judge pro tem. I have the opportunity to preside over cases. I also stay very connected with our community, which is so important. I work with Marin Legal Aid. I've observed and participated and volunteered in our Marin County Youth Court. I served as the president of the Association of Latino Marin Attorneys, where I've mentored Latino students and worked in the canal. I bring the unique qualifications that are necessary for our next judge. Thank you.
Thank you very much.